On the whole, I have an optimistic view of human nature. I think most people are fundamentally good. Many become corrupted. Many are influenced by societal pressures, other factors, but I think people are inherently good. Children are good. So it's the choices we make as we get older that affect how we live. And I think that's had a really big effect on white people who come to Africa, sub-Saharan Africa, and certainly in the countries I'm familiar with, mostly Zambia and Malawi. Now, when I think about NGO people, I think NGO people do come with good intention. I think many of them are altruistic. I've seen them go through university, I've seen them study, and I think they really do want to make a difference when they come to the developing world. And I even have a lot of sympathy for the white saviours, because I think they're well intended. Although the way they do things may be wrong, I don't think the intention is bad, so I think they're forgivable. But at some point on the journey, things tend to go wrong for most white people who come to Africa, mainly from Europe, occasionally from North America, and other parts of the world where people are predominantly white. I know not everybody is in those countries, but something goes wrong, and they tend to adopt the mindset that many of the people they like to think of as expatriates adopt, which is one of superiority, and that they stand alone, they have enclaves, they don't integrate in society, which is strange. Now with the NGO people, I've seen them in the long way, I've seen them in Lusaka. What tends to happen is they get the job with the NGO, they get the nice 4x4 vehicle to themselves. The only thing is it's branded, otherwise you think it's their vehicle, and they swan around, they live in penthouses, they're on tremendous incomes for the parts of the world that they live in, and they live the life of Riley, and they forget the purpose of their work or why they came. Even people working for organisations like the World Health Organization. I have heard stories firsthand that in meetings at WHO, people will discuss measures that may actually eradicate poverty, not just reduce, but even eradicate. And around the table, there will be voices of dissent saying, well, if we implement these policies, we'll put ourselves out of a job. So the gravy train would end. They would have to get off the said train and find another job. So they are better off perpetuating poverty than doing anything to eliminate or eradicate. And just to reinforce, I don't think people study to university level and beyond to join non-governmental organisations, to commit their lives to the betterment of others with the intent of becoming so selfish and greedy. But they do. I haven't met many NGOs who aren't corrupted after a few years, and they drop into the white subculture. And what I find most bizarre is it doesn't matter where they're from. It doesn't matter if they're French, if they're British, if they're Canadian, if they're Swedish, Norwegian, German. It doesn't matter. They start to see this affinity based upon skin colour, which I find bizarre. The only thing I have in common with other white people who are not British or Irish is basically the tone of my skin. Our cultures are different. It's not the same. It's not like black African culture, where the culture overlaps considerably based upon the history of oppression, of slavery, of colonialism, etc. Won't go into all now, but there's a huge difference between black consciousness and white consciousness. White consciousness is racism. That's it. Period, as the Americans would say. And I don't know what brings about the change, but I kind of guess that once they realise the privilege that they have because of their skin colour, they find it so difficult not to act upon such privilege and to associate with people like them who are also privileged. And then they create these subcultures, these enclaves. It's there in Zambia, it's here in Livingstone, it's terrible here, it's also in Makushi, and it was all over Lilongwe and other parts of Malawi, where I think NGO culture is even worse in Malawi than it is in Zambia. So to my Zambian friends, I say, guys, come on, don't put up with this. Don't put up with white privilege. Do not treat white people with exceptionalism. hold them to the same levels of account that you are held to yourself in your own country. Do not let them walk to fronts of queues, treat them differently in the bank. Don't let it happen. And to the Mzungus, I urge you, try to integrate. Zambians are the friendliest, wonderful, kindest people in the world. They are so accepting and so tolerant and so forgiving. Despite what our ancestors have done, they will take you at face value. So work with them, don't exploit them. Go into business with Zambians rather than manipulate them. Pay people who work for you a fair wage. Talk to them with respect. Do not talk down to Zambians. It sickens me the way that most other white people in this town, Livingstone, behave around black people. Many of them don't even know any unless they work for them, unless they are employed on their farm or in their shop or part of their tourist industry. They don't even know who they are. What can I do?